Here's some reading practice from a website by the huffingtonpost.com. This is from, or the date now is January 25th, 2015, HuffPost Politics. Um, this is an article by Jeff Biggers. The article is called, for reading practice, the article is called Arizona State Militia Formed. Sovereignty on the Ballot. Will Governor Brewer sign bill for state takeover of federal lands? Oh no. Posted on 5/4/2012, 3:50 p.m. EDT. Updated 7/4/2012 EDT. And it begins for practice. With the fallout of Arizona neo-Nazi icon J.T. Reddy's alleged mass murder-suicide still unfolding with chilling details of weapons stockpiles. Few observers noted Governor Jan Brewer quietly signed a controversial bill last year to establish the state's own armed forces, granting her the power to use the militia for any other reason the governor considers to be necessary. Those other reasons for state rights advocates may come sooner than later. With another brave new states' rights bill awaiting her signature on her desk, which calls for state control over vast federal lands, Brewer could potentially take Arizona's unyielding confrontation with the federal government to a new level, far beyond a wagging finger on an airport tarmac. In effect, the law establishes the Arizona State Guard last year essentially circumvented the National Guard of Arizona and allows Brewer to employ her own troops for the safety and protection of the lives and property of the citizens. The key word is property. In a rehash of the abandoned 1970s sagebrush rebellion claim over federal lands, the proposed SB 1332 on her desk demands the relinquishment of federal titles to all public lands, an area ranging over an estimated 48,000 square miles. That's a lot of miles. For an added gusto, the state legislature also passed H.C.R. 2004, the infamous State Sovereignty Bill, which will place a proposition to amend the state's constitution before the voters in November elections. The bill reads in part, the state of Arizona declares its sovereign and exclusive authority and jurisdiction over the air, land, public lands, minerals, wildlife, and other natural resources within its boundaries. In truth, Arizona state rights bravado today is a rerun of the Sagebrush Rebellion's similar manufacturing of a constitutional crisis, where conservative legislatures from several western states sought to take sovereign control over the public domain lands administered by the Federal Bureau of Land Management under the guise of constitutional rights and federal mismanagement. The key point in Arizona's new bill underscores the state's intent to sell public land to private enterprise and elude federal environmental protection guaranteed by the Clean Water Act, the Clean Air Act, and other regulations. More than 30 years ago, the Sagebrush Rebellion adherence to such sacred sovereignty as dissipated to a thinly veiled front for private landowners. Man, excuse me. In a region where mining interests and real estate companies encircled the counties for cheap deals and huge ranching operations sought to expand unfettered grazing on public lands. Public lands. The states' rights parade was a bandwagon to support. One of the disseminating Arizona Democrats in those days referred to the bill as the Stagecoach Rebellion because we are being taken for a ride. Coming on the centennial of Arizona statehood, really? Centennial of Arizona statehood, the governor and the state legislators appear to have overlooked that the state's 1912 Constitution legally relinquished forever all rights and title to unappropriated and ungranted public lands lying within the boundaries thereof. Thereof notwithstanding, at least Governor Brewer could have a guard or militia to back up her claims today. So follow Jeff Biggers on Twitter, www.twitter.com/Jeff Biggers. Jeff Biggers. That's interesting. Very, very interesting slant on the opinions. Well, no, never mind. Anyway, thank you, and have a good day. Bye bye.